What's up, everybody? It's Kenny here, chilling with Kenny C. Super excited to be joined with my guest of the evening, hip hop artist, talented MC out in the state of Kentucky. I was actually in his neck of the woods last week. Um, and he goes by the name of Obsouleet. He is with me right now. What's good, man?
Not much, man. Just got there doing a show last night. Had to get up, go to the 9 to 5 this morning. Uh, got physical copies of the album last night, so I've been networking. Everybody hitting me up, wanting to get my info to get physical copies of the album. So just, grind, man. It never stops. It seems like I'm not mad about it though.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into your music and your career stuff, man, I gotta give thanks to you. So last Saturday, I was at Oak Grove, Kentucky for the NWA Power Trip. You have a friend that was part of the event. Shout out to the homie Patrick. I met him during the meet and greet, and I told him that I know you through him. So it took a while to recognize him, but I did see him and I had a good time. And NWA Power Trip, it was a fun show. Dog, I got to see Kappa Donna win the NWA World Heavyweight title. That was lit. So
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, that's the first NWA show that I've been to, and for the 10 pounds of gold to change hands on that particular night, that was special. And I'm gonna be in my feelings though. We're trying to meet him. We was trying to meet him, me and some fans trying to meet him afterwards, and then the representative was like, "Nah, he ain't coming. You guys booed him." I'm like, "Wait a minute. I know he got some boos, but I didn't boo him. The people that didn't boo him should not be punished for him not being at the post-show meeting greet. But that's neither there. Uh, so shout out to Patrick. Shout out to NWA Tried and True out there in the Tennessee area as well. So with you, man, how did you get started into hip hop?
Man, so I started doing this like 13, almost 14 years ago. Music's always been a huge part of my life. I mean, as a kid, like I was that kid running around with headphones on, always playing something, whether it was, old school country, because that's pretty much what I was raised on, or, 80s, 90s hair bands and stuff like that. So when I started falling into hip hop and rap and stuff like that. But, I always kind of had that passion. I was really good with, fluent with my words and very well spoken, as people like to say. So it just kind of started out freestyling with some friends and stuff like that, and then kind of ran into a buddy that had a studio. His brother had a studio, and kind of where it all began.
So as far as artists, who are some of the artists that inspired you, that got your attention, that kind of made you want to get into hip hop? Who stood out to you?
Obviously, Eminem be up there, of course. That was really one of the first rappers, I guess, so to speak, when I first was really being introduced to rap. First hip hop record I ever heard, though, my aunt put me on to was the Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die album. And from there stemmed Bone Thugs and Harmony, DMX, because I was living in New York at the time, so there was a lot of heavy influence from there. But yeah, really Eminem, Biggie, I always loved his style, man, his sound. And then the guys today, like guys like Rich, Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll's a huge one for me. Just seeing what he's done, even in the last couple of years, man, from where he started at. So those are a couple of my big inspirations for sure.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to DMX. Eminem, obviously. He was at the Super Bowl halftime show last week, and he I gotta say, man, he stayed consistent with the Jordans. with the clothes he be wearing with the hood with the hat on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's and it's kind of takes some time to get over to the facial hair Eminem, with the
Mhm.
beard. Maybe the beard kind of step it up for him a little bit, presentation wise. But that's Dre, Snoop, Mary, Kendrick. I mean, to literally have a all hip hop halftime show. Like hip hop
Yeah.
has been everywhere and anywhere. And now, granted, we've had hip hop artists make guest appearances throughout the years,
Yeah.
but we've never had like an all hip hop show at the halftime show, and they did it.
Yeah.
So it
That's what I was
was
telling my mama Maggie the other day. We were talking about it. I was like, if you even told me 5 years ago that, not even just those guys, but the fact, like you said, that there would be an all hip hop halftime show, I'd have probably laughed at you, because you just,
yeah,
I didn't see it coming. Like, we just weren't there. But to see it now, like, and those guys, especially, man, for all the shit that every single one of them has been through in their life personally,
yeah,
to have overcome to even to be standing there like that, man, it was iconic in itself.
yeah. And with it being in Los Angeles, and you have
Yeah.
Jay-Z booking these performers, like you knew that he was going to eventually come through, and he did. You get Dr. Dre, just a guy
Yeah.
from Compton. Kendrick's from Compton.
Hmm.
Snoop's from Long Beach. So
Yeah.
they're not that far off. And Inglewood, LA area, that was an easy decision as
Yeah.
far as picking the performers. So and it's just an example, it's just a reminder of the ripple effect that Dr. Dre has had in hip hop. He's just turned 57 years old yesterday. Uh, he looks like he's in his 40s to me. If you tell me he's 57, I said no way. Like he's got a little gray on the facial
Little
hair.
gray in the
Okay,
beard, yeah.
yeah, but you tell me he's 57? Like what? Come on, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's just a memorable night, and I'm glad that hip hop got to be presented, you know, in that fashion. So even the kicker of the Cincinnati Bengals, he didn't even go to the locker room. He sat there and watched the whole thing. Which,
Yeah.
yeah, that just tells you, man, how much hip hop has had an effect on people for sure. Uh, so I got to hearing your tracks, Smooth Talk with Kappa Donna
Mhm.
of Wu Tang. I played that song last month, I believe it was, and you had a heartfelt reaction to it. So thank
Mhm.
you for that. And you released your latest track with Chris Calico. I'm a fan of his. I'm a fan of the Strange Music crew. Uh, so let's talk Smooth Talk first. How did that collaboration came about with you and Capadonna?
So Temper Beats, Oil Temper Beats, I think is what they're called. They're one of the guys throughout the years. I've come across various people, beat wise, and I've been signed up with. I want to say it's like their little email. I don't know what it's exactly called, but basically, I get emails from them, once or twice a week, various things. So I had gotten this email about this beat collab pack that they were doing, and I had seen a few of these, before from different, beat makers and stuff like that. But naturally, the Capadonna immediately caught my eye. So looked into it, saw what it was. It was, Capadonna, Jaron Benton, and a couple others, and immediately I was like, well, yes, obviously it's a beat pack. Yes, so many people can have access to these same beats with these same features. Yes, but to be able to say, okay, I did a track, with these artists, yes, in that retrospect, but if I do it and make it stand out, then obviously, it doesn't really matter what anybody else did anyway. No disrespect there, but just to have my sound be on a track with those artists, an opportunity that currently I wouldn't have that opportunity to do, immediately I had to jump at it. I mean, just because, obviously, again, Wu Tang. If you're in hip hop and don't know who Wu Tang is, I kindly, show you where the door is. No disrespect again to anybody, but so of course, like that name immediately caught my attention. So then I got the beat, and the other guy, Don Blacksmith, that's a buddy of mine I've known for God, 15 years now. I've known him a long time as well. Back in our days, making music and Job Corps. But as you heard, his sound, man. I just as soon as I heard the beat, I'm like, man, I got to put him on this record with me. Because I know Wu Tang's a big inspiration for him as well. Him being a New York guy and all that. And I knew the three of us would blend together really well. So immediately I start, writing my verse and reaching out to him. And of course, he's on board with it 100%. So we kind of, I got mine recorded, got it ready, sent it all to him. He got his done. And when he sent it back to me, man, I couldn't help but smile because it's another one of those, like, just watching it all come together and sounding better than what you would have expected it to. So that's really how that all came about and how I wound up getting that feature.
Yeah, if you're a hip hop head and you're not familiar with Wu Tang Clan, uh, yeah, you either you need to do your research or you should be stripped of your hip hop card. Cause we talking
But
Wu Tang for the children, you know. Come on, like
and their whole
every
movement, I mean, the
yeah.
music is amazing, but now especially like I won't say I was the biggest Wu Tang Clan fan, by any means. I loved a lot of their songs and respect what them guys did, but after watching that little Hulu thing that they got out now and learning what those guys did and really what they overcame and to do what they did, man, it's inspiring, man. Just every odds stacked against you, and those guys. I mean, half of them didn't even like each other at one point, but still saw the bigger picture, man. And it's amazing what happens when you see stuff like that. People come together.
Yeah, with so many members of the group, different minds and stuff, you're gonna bump heads, obviously, but for them being able to keep that together and still be ongoing, guys like Method Man and Ghostface, Raekwon, Chef, Wizza, some of the members, Respect the Death, just and obviously Kappa Donna just still doing music after all these years just tells you the
Yeah.
longevity, individually and collectively, obviously. Shout out to Don Blacksmith. He did his thing on the track as well. Smooth Talk,
Yes, sir.
Obsolete, Don Capadonna. Go check that out. That's on all the platforms. Show your support in that regard. Let's get into the Disappear joint. That's you and Chris Calico from the Strange Music family. Talk how to talk about how did that collaboration came about.
So that was kind of the same thing. Wishmaster and Chris Calico had kind of linked up, of course, because those guys go way back. And crazy thing about all of that. So prior to that, I wound up buying some beats from Wishmaster. I, just had been put on to him and what he was doing. Bought like a 60 pack beat pack from him. Wound up doing a song. Actually met him in Nashville last year. Shout out to Wishmaster and that all that. But it was about Thanksgiving time. They had announced they were doing this combo pack. It was going to be a couple verses, couple hooks, and of course, again, man, Chris Calico is another big, that his music has saved me in more ways than one. So again, that opportunity, and I knew they were Wishmaster beats, so obviously, no question there. You almost don't have to hear what you're getting. You're getting Chris Calico and a Wishmaster beat. You kind of know, you're gonna get something good. So that opportunity again presented itself. I jumped on it immediately. I actually my mama Maggie was down visiting for Thanksgiving. I had my kids the day I bought the beat pack, and everybody kind of settled down and was doing their own thing. And I kind of ran off in the other room for a minute and was kind of just scrolling through the beats. And that was one of the first ones that really caught my attention. So later on, a couple hours later, fast forward, kids are chilling down for the night, and I decided to sit down and kind of start writing to it, and just immediately, man, started feeling it more and more and more. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be the first one I do, but I'm gonna take my time with it. I'm not gonna rush it. Um, so fast forward a few months, got it recorded, got my verses together, got it laid down, got it sent off, got it sent back to me, and obviously what you guys have heard is the end result, and another one of those tracks, man. I mean, I knew what it sounded like before I sent it to my engineer and all that, and when he sent it back, just hearing it that first time, man, almost gave me goosebumps. Just because, like I said again, to have that opportunity to be on a song with somebody who, there were times in my life where one of his songs, brought me out of a dark place, or just was something to put on to keep vibing and have a good day. Because Chris Calico makes a little bit of everything for everybody, but to say, hey, I have a song, with Chris Calico, regardless of, how that came about, man, it's just another huge moment for me. And me personally, man, I think it's probably one of my best tracks just because it's so heartfelt and so personal for me, but yet again, kind of relatable for everybody.
Disappear, the name of the track, Obsolete, Chris Calico. It's on all the platforms as well. I've seen Calico perform. Actually, I've seen members of Strange Music. They've been in Lexington every now and then. I've seen Calico a few years back with Tech. Definitely got the energy. Definitely a hell of a good performer. And I got to meet Tech again, and he's a cool dude. Just the fact that he's been doing his thing for a very long time, and just been around since the '90s and '80s and such, and just and he's done it independently. No major label, none of that. Just independent the whole way through, and collaborating with big names along the way. He's big time. Tech Nine is, and he's
Yeah.
definitely sees everyone on Strange Music thrive. And so I even got a, a Strange Music backpack somewhere in my. I bought the Strange Music pack when Tech was at Lexington this past November. So it
Oh,
was
nice.
so just meeting them was pretty dope. Pretty dope. So
Now, you talking about the tech was Ritz up at that one too, I believe.
yeah,
Okay, so I think my homeboy Be Good is one of the openers for that too as well.
yeah, be
If I'm
good.
not
Drama for
drama.
Boss
Yep.
Town.
Okay.
So I'm friends with them both. So shout out to them cats for sure.
Yeah.
Uh,
Definitely, man.
so you definitely on your grind, doing your thing musically and other work that you're working on. What's next for Obsolete in the coming weeks and months? Where can people? I know you got a show at Haystack coming up as well.
Yes, sir. I got a show with Haystack on March 12th at the warehouse down in Clarksville, Tennessee, for his birthday bash. Me and a couple other guys that I rock with opening up for him. On March 5th, I'm going to be in Louisville opening up for Ouija Mac at the WWME Hall. Shout out to them guys out there, man. That's my home away from home, man. I love all them dudes up there at the WWME Hall. That's like family up there to me. And I've got a few other shows lined up between them, those two, and a few after as well. I'm currently working on what's going to be my next album, kind of piecing all that together here and there. And then in between, this album that I just released and that album I'm currently working on, I've got a collaboration EP where you'll find a lot of these Chris Calico features. That Smooth Talk's going to be on that EP as well.
Mm.
It's going to be called the House of Obsolete Volume One. The Losers Win Again. And then basically that's something I'm going to continue doing in between albums because I'm one of those, like, I love making my own music, but I also love working with, you know, almost any and everybody. And I say that, I love making music, man. And when somebody reaches out to me for a feature, I reach out to somebody for a feature, might not always make the album or whatever, but I still want to showcase that, and be able to put those together and utilize them the same way like anything else I do. So I kind of figured that's a good way to still be able to keep my features going, and not necessarily let them get lost in the shuffle of the albums and all that.
I like that, man. I like that the passion is there. You got a lot of music on the horizon. Just putting it out there. So I like the smooth talk joint. I love the disappear joint, and I like some of the other tracks that's on Spotify as well. So go check out Disappear and Smooth Talk. Those are his current releases from 2022 thus far. Both songs are available on all the platforms. Um, Before I let you go, man, tell the people where they can catch you on social media.
All right, so before you let me go, first off, I got to shout you out, man. Give you, your flowers, so to speak. I appreciate you, having me on, man, for sure. Like you're giving us artists and anybody else getting on here a great opportunity. So, for one, thank you again for having me. And for two, man, y'all can find me any and everywhere at Obsouleet, Obsouleet, Spotify, Amazon, all of it, iTunes, YouTube. My album, I've got physical copies right now. It will be live on all streaming platforms on March 11th. Shout out to my dudes over at Enigmatic, taking care of all that for me too. All my dudes at Gas Records and everybody else is rocking with me, man. And again, everybody else doing this music, shout out to all y'all. It's a grind, and I know how it is. And keep at it. Don't ever quit chasing your dreams, man.
Well said, man. I'm chilling with the homie Obsolete out there in the Oak Grove, Kentucky area. I definitely represent. Now I'm a Lexington guy, but I definitely try to reach out to artists all over the state. So there's music out there in your neck of the woods, regardless of where you're at. So definitely support these artists, man. They out there. So appreciate you being on the show tonight. Keep doing your thing. Looking forward to the new record in March, and keep doing your thing, man. Look forward to big things from you.
Most definitely, man. You do the same.
Is
Appreciate
that
you again, man.
is that you have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, man.
You too, man.
All right. That was the homie Obsolete.